It's week 8 on the Appalachian Trail, and we are officially just in Tennessee. If you don't know, the Appalachian Trail weaves in and out of North Carolina and Tennessee for a long while. When you're in the Grayson Highlands, you officially leave North Carolina for the last time, and you are in Tennessee until you reach Virginia. In the days that we had gotten back on trail after 19 East, we had had some tramley drama go down, and we were still somewhat in the midst of it. But I was loving Tennessee, and so I was trying to make the best of every single day. I loved discovering how close some of these beautiful spots were to the place that I call home, and I was already planning trips to bring friends back once I finished the trail to reminisce and enjoy some of these spots in some better weather. And I was blown away by the waterfalls in Tennessee and the rock structures along with them. I never knew just how close some of these spaces existed just a few hours from me. It never ceases to amaze me just how much the trail continues to teach me day after day. And then, before I knew it, we were getting even closer to Watauga Lake. But before we got there, we made a quick little lunch stop at Boots Off Hostel where we enjoyed some pizza. I unfortunately forgot to take a video at Boots Off, but it was super cute and they offered some really cool water-based slack packing.
Damn! Oh, damn! Oh, damn! Oh, damn! Oh, damn! Look at that dam!
I don't think I recorded the shenanigans back from Fontana Dam, but we also did this same oh damn silliness that we did on Fontana Dam at Watauga Lake Dam, which is what you're seeing here. And you know, you just got to make yourself laugh some days. I didn't do many recordings of me again this week, and that's because this was another socially tough week. But before I share about that, I do want to show off these absolutely gorgeous lady slippers. This is like one of my first times seeing so many of them out in nature, and I was so excited to spot them along the trail. The things that thru-hikers do to stay warm on a chilly day.
Oh, beautiful. Look at them go. Generating heat, burning toxins out of your systems, getting your...
my underarms!
Well, there's no stopping that at this rate.
That did help a little bit.
Good.
The tramley member that had been causing some issues had still been hiking with us up to Boots Off. But after that, one day they just decided that they were going to yell at me because they thought that I was in charge and that everybody was following me down the trail and that I was the one holding the reins and making all the decisions. When in reality, I was the one holding my own reins and making my decision. I was hiking my own hike and I was doing the trail how I wanted to do it. And they didn't like the fact that I was very comfortable with doing what I wanted to do for my hike.
Windy day.
And so they took that out on me, and I didn't appreciate it. After all the things that had happened in the days prior, back at 19 East, I would not tolerate that kind of behavior towards me or towards the hike that I was trying to enjoy. And in that moment, I knew I was no longer comfortable hiking with them, and we split up once again. And then it was just me, Barbie, and Smokin' Burrito. I absolutely loved hiking through this field, though. It was a magical Sound of Music moment.
It is day 3 of week 8 on the AT. We spent, Barbie and I had 3 0 days at my house, and then the tramley had 2 0 days, and now we are on our way to Damascus.
I'm not really sure why, but I've always loved, on most days at least, hiking in the wind. There's something about it, like whipping the grasses around and watching it rustle and then feeling it on my face that makes me feel absolutely alive, especially when I'm out on a trail with views like this. And I can't really tell you why, but that windy moment on that little piece of land on that farm is still one of my favorite little tiny moments from the trail.
Heading into Damascus today. It's been a beautiful few days through the last little bit of Tennessee. There's mentally been a few tough days. I've had some tramley struggles. That's okay, all part of the experience. But yeah, we are 4 miles from the Tennessee-Virginia border, and we will have crossed off state number 3 on the AT. And yeah, we're gonna Nero. Well, not really Nero because we're doing 10 miles today. But yesterday we did 16, which is like my tie for longest day. And today we're doing 10. And I feel like that was all confusing. But anyways, we're going into Damascus and we're gonna zero tomorrow because I love Damascus. It's one of my favorite little towns. And then we're gonna keep on trucking. So yeah, it's always exciting to hit a new state line, and then we'll be in Virginia for about 550 miles. So it's gonna be fun. Yeah, and today's gonna be a beautiful day. Yesterday was chilly, it felt like winter again. But today feels like summer again, even though it doesn't look like it. I gotta take both these off. But it feels like summer again, and it's gonna be a beautiful day on the trail.
I was so excited to get into Damascus. It had been a dream of mine to reach this spot for as long as I've dreamed about walking the trail. Damascus is only about an hour from where I live, and I remember going as a kid. Let me pause that thought for a second so everybody can enjoy Barbie and I at the Tennessee-Virginia state line.
We made it to Virginia! We get privies again, and I am here for that. Tennessee, you were fun. You had some really beautiful spots, but you were lacking in privies, and that sucked ass. So Virginia, we're excited to see you in your privies. Now to Damascus. Made it to Damascus. Ah, I'm so excited. I love this little town.
I had been coming to Damascus since I was a kid. I had ridden the Creeper Trail at least 2 or 3 times, and so it was so special to me to make it back to this town and walk through Trail Town, USA as a thru hiker. Our first stop was, of course, real food at the Damascus Diner, and then Treats had to go find her treat of the day at the Main Street Sweets and Eats. And I can't quite remember where treat number 2 was from, but I definitely enjoyed it by the river, and that was a magical little moment. Since we were staying in Damascus, we of course had to stop by Broken Fiddle and add our name to the little boards. We really loved staying at Broken Fiddle. It was a really great spot, and although I know it's somewhat hard to get spots in there because they can't have tent camping, if you can, we absolutely enjoyed our stay and being able to wander all around town. Since we were zeroing in Damascus, we of course started out our day at the local cafe, and then I had convinced Barbie and Smokin' Burrito that we should go ride the Creeper Trail. For those who are unfamiliar with the Virginia Creeper Trail, it's a 35-mile multi-purpose rail trail that there are 7 different places in Damascus, there might even be more, where you can rent a bike and you can go bike the entirety or just half of the trail. So after some relaxing and hammocking, that's exactly what we did. We headed down the Creeper Trail. It was such a fun experience to bike instead of walk for a little while, and I love this tiny little shop called Green Cove Collective along the trail.
All right.
Cheers to Damascus. Cheers to the tramley.
In Damascus, we were once again reunited with Bearbag and Ozark, and so together we all went in to Abington to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. The next day was Saturday, and so before we headed out of town, I had to make a stop at the local farmers market because I absolutely love supporting local, and I found these absolutely delicious cookies from one of the local vendors that I was able to take and pack out to enjoy later on in the day. It was tough to leave Damascus, but it was also time to get back out on the trail for the next part of the adventure. And of course, as we were about to leave Broken Fiddle, the boys had to have a little dance party with themselves. While we were in Damascus, the tramley member that we had asked to no longer hike with us had caught back up to us. And when we left Broken Fiddle, they actually started to follow us out of town. It was not cool.
We are leaving Damascus today, which is kind of sad, but we'll be back in a few weeks for trail days, which it'll be super fun to attend that as a thru hiker this year. I attended last year, and it was super awesome, but this year I'm really excited to do it as an actual thru hiker. And yeah, we're leaving Damascus today. We had a really good time in Damascus. We got to rest and we stayed at Broken Fiddle, which was absolutely awesome. Treehouse was awesome. All of his staff were awesome. It was a really good stay. And we did the Virginia Creeper Trail, and I've done that since I was a little kid. And so it was really cool to do it as I'm doing the trail and take some of my family members out there and show them some of the beauty of this area. And in a few days, we're gonna hit Grayson Highlands, so that'll be fun. But yeah, our day off in Damascus was amazing. We got to eat food. We celebrated Cinco de Mayo yesterday. And yeah, we had an awesome time. And it's always good to be back on trail. So yeah, headed. It's a beautiful day today. It's supposed to rain the next few days. But yeah, excited for the Grayson Highlands and hopefully to see some ponies.
So our family member that we had decided we no longer wanted to be our family member, who had decided to try and follow us out of Damascus, we had to talk to again. We told them again that we didn't want them to hike with us because they were making us uncomfortable. They had yelled in my face, and it just wasn't a good vibe anymore. And this was the scariest, or I don't even know that I was really, like truly scared, but it was the creepiest and most uncomfortable that I had felt on trail up to this point. And I don't say this to scare anyone from doing the trail, but just to make you more aware. Whether that's making you aware that you might be making people uncomfortable, or just to be aware of your surroundings and the people that you're with. Luckily, I did have someone making me laugh, even in the tough days.
I hike with a child. Sometimes the best part of the morning is that there's a privy or a pit toilet half a mile from camp, and you get to take your morning shit in as close as a real toilet as you'll get to out here. And that's the best way to start the morning sometimes. Not having to dig a hole off a cliff in the woods.
So just to finish up the story, if someone tells you that you're making them uncomfortable and they don't want to hike with you anymore, respect that and let them hike off. And this person finally did. As we were leaving Damascus, I loved the parts that we got to walk down the Virginia Creeper Trail and the familiar bridges that I had biked across. And then before we knew it, we were almost and getting closer to Grayson Highlands and the wild ponies.
Grayson Highlands, here we come.
I had been and actually backpacked through a little section of the Grayson Highlands before, so I was super excited to return and to, once again, experience one of my favorite spots while through hiking the Appalachian Trail. Our first day reaching this section of the Grayson Highlands was beautiful and also foggy. I loved the flowers that were absolutely dotting the trail in such a beautiful fairy-like fashion, but I was hoping that maybe the next day would bring us some clear views so that my friends who had never seen this area before and had never experienced the Grayson Highlands would get to enjoy them in all of their beauty. One really special thing that we enjoyed in this little section of trail is that, and this video doesn't show it very well, but there were little goldfinches popping all in and out of these little brambly bushes. And we were so into watching the birds on the trail. So this was just such a little magical moment, watching these little golden birds flit through the grass and make some magic along the trail.
All the little goldfinch babies. Look at them in a tree.
And then we reached the Lewis Fork Wilderness, which was part of the Grayson Highlands. Since Damascus, we had been texting with an old trail friend who we hadn't seen since the Nantahala Outdoor Center, and we were hoping that we would finally get to see them again.
Stormy day turned into a pretty beautiful one, at least for now.
And it was in the Grayson Highlands where we ran into Trail Jesus again. If you don't remember, Trail Jesus is the one that baptized Barbie and I in the Nantahala River. And it was there that we met his new tramley, the BFs. And this is an important moment because we would go on to spend a lot of the trail with those amazing people. But our first interaction with them ended up being meeting these absolutely adorable ponies, and one of them was named Fabio. And that concludes week 8.